It's your boy In Show, but you already know.
Are movies back?
Did movies leave?
Some people say so.
Quality, characters.
I saw some bangers last year. So
movies are on the up. I mean,
I saw some bangers.
Marvel movies, we can talk about that in a video. But movies in general,
Marvel movies are like the death of cinema to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
those people can shut up.
Because they just see their blockbusters and they say
so like the last movies I've seen that I thought were that are noteworthy. Doom was really good. I actually liked Spider-Man 3, even though you can
don't think about it too long. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Batman was great.
Batman was sweet.
You see Bullet Train?
Bullet Train was really good. Yeah, that was a fun movie.
He's a diesel.
You're a diesel.
You're a diesel.
I've seen Bullet Train.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
You about to say some diesel? You go ahead.
What else have I seen? I mean, I didn't like Way of Water personally.
I can't believe they had a 3-hour-long movie.
That was like a director's cut,
but it was still paced.
You say what, man?
It was weird. Yeah, it was like I fell asleep, but I liked it.
I don't think you could cut anything out of that movie.
You can't
without like.
You definitely. I
don't think so.
There are a couple of things
like ruin a lot of stuff later if you cut anything.
Yeah, because even the whale part, I was like, "What's this point? What's the point?" Is the whale start fighting back? I was like, "Dang."
You can cut a lot of like a lot of them just showing the world. Cut all that out. And just
well, they were never, but they never did any of that without it having a purpose in the story.
No,
like
I'm not talking. I'm not talking about characters doing specific.
No, you're talking about the sweeping shots, right?
Yeah.
No, all of that. I'm saying all of that had a purpose. Like when they left the forest and they showed you how much different the water world actually is. Like
that's it.
The whole ocean that you never actually see before. And part of the reason they showed us to show you how absolutely ridiculously vast Pandora is from the ground perspective. I think like if you cut that out, you don't do the movie a service particularly. Because the music is actually pretty good.
It wasn't unnecessary.
Man, I don't like that I have to do like.
I don't like defending it either. Because it's not the best movie ever.
Even at the point where like the girl is messing around with the fish, it's like, first of all, they're trying to show you that she's like on the spectrum a little bit further than like all the other people that are in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, she's
just looking at the water, the colors in the water, and she's like, that's for people who do that. That's not for us. And if you take that out of the movie, then the movie loses a lot of integrity. Because then when she does it's like, where the did this come from?
Hella world building.
I think that Black Panther 2 is actually really good too. Even though a
lot
of people don't like it.
I'm so bad I didn't see it.
And I'm gonna even go a step further. I think it's better than the first one. I do. A lot of people will disagree with me. Hey, hit me up in the comments. I think Black Panther 2 is better than Black Panther.
They're gonna be like, he a coon. I mean, just to defend myself a little bit, because I know I'm gonna get attacked if anybody sees this. I think that Black Panther, the first one, was more like a tale being told, and a lot of the stakes were just not there. They just weren't there. And Black Panther won.
Hey, what do you mean? He was going to literally go to war with the world.
I was.
What do you mean stakes are low?
I will say this.
He was going to kill his mother.
I was. Wait, what are you? I'm talking about in the first one.
Yes, he was going to kill both of them if he found them.
Talking about Killmonger?
Yes.
Okay.
The stakes.
So what I had seen was a little commercial for Avengers Infinity Wars before I saw the movie. Even though I saw the movie literally 3 days after it came out.
I don't think I've seen that.
So the stakes were gone for me. When I see Black Panther in the movie, when I see Shuri in the movie, in Infinity Wars, in the teaser trailer, the stakes in Black Panther immediately leave my mind.
Wait.
Because I know they're going to be great.
You did that to yourself.
That's not my fault. That's not my fault at all. Because no. Because there's no reason.
Cat, stop it.
No, because there's no reason that they need to promote another movie that fast when the movie just came out 2 days ago. They think everybody's hasn't
watched the trailer.
I didn't know that was what was about to happen.
What do you mean?
I didn't know they were about to show. I didn't know that they were about to show 3 minutes. This was before 3 minutes. Hold on. This was before 3-minute trailers became a norm. This was when it was like teaser was like 40 seconds. Trailer was like 1:20. But go ahead. What are you about to say?
I mean, besides the Age of Ultron trailers that were both 3 minutes long.
Really? Yeah. I didn't see them. See, look.
But regardless, here's the thing. This is the same thing as saying, I know the hero always wins, so there is no real stake. Or the story, I know that Black Panther doesn't die in real life because T'Challa's still alive, so obviously the movie has some more room. Or even going more meta than that, I know that Marvel likes to use these characters in more movies than just one IP, so I know that there's no real stakes about what's going to happen. That's not exactly fair to say, because if you take the movie as itself, standing as a movie, there's incredibly high stakes. I don't think, and even them still being alive and you knowing that they're in Infinity War doesn't lessen the fact that horrible still happened to them, around them, to the people near them. I don't think that cuts down on the stakes of the first movie at all.
But I will say that in comparison with them, whether they promoted the whatever's to come after Black Panther 2 or not, I think that because we know, and I mean, obviously, what's his name? Chadwick Boseman's untimely death played a huge role in the script's differences from what they had written before, which was, I think he had said that he was going to write T'Challa coming back from the time skip or the time snap, and he was going to be training his 5-year-old son or something like that, who Nakia had, but then she remarried another dude because she thought T'Challa was completely
dead. Yeah, I saw
dead.
that script.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be like a father-son, like it's going to be completely different than what we actually got. And what we actually got, I think, speaks to not only them building up a whole nother world, like you were saying with Way of the Water, they showed like a whole nother world with vibranium, and then building up spoiler alert, a potential ally for what's to come, because no one knows what the heck they're even trying to do with the universe at this point, except fight Kronos. With Marvel.
They're not fighting Kronos, they're fighting Kang the Conqueror.
Sure. With all that being put in, they did a lot. They did a lot, and they made character development rather than just this is how a character is, which is what they did in the first one. Which I didn't mind that, but it seemed like there was a lot more going on, a lot more realness to the script than they did in the first one. But that's just me personally.
Black Panther 2 is probably a step up.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of people don't like it because they're not enough men in it.
Like women.
Well, that's not the main one, but that's just one of them. The other one is
they don't like black people. My bad. Go ahead.
They don't like the fact that that Namor didn't outrightly beat what's her name because she couldn't fight. But you can think about. I mean, that's not how she won in the first place. She won with her mind, with using and building technology that we already known that she could do. If you watch the movie, you would know that.
He was beating her ass when she was trying to go head up with him, to be fair with you.
Yeah, so I have no qualms with how they handled that. And her not killing him, crazy move. Didn't think that was going to happen. I thought everybody just go Killmonger out all together, which I actually wouldn't have been mad about either. But they became allies in the end, so yeah. I think it was better than the first one. But,
yeah, that's probably.
But he does make a good point about, yes, a lot of stuff could have happened. But I mean, even if you put into the fact that, yes, a lot of things could still happen to the characters, even though we know that they will be alive, or even if you take all that out. When Killmonger threw Chadwick Boseman or Black Panther off the freaking waterfall, we were like, that dead. Like, there's no way that they, like, if they were not using that same template that they were using for years to come, you know what? Maybe he did just die. Or maybe he about to go through a crazy little arc before he even gets his Black Panther powers back.
I was surprised he lost, to be honest with you. I will say that.
Yeah, I did. I was too. But it makes sense.
I did not think they were going to do that.
But all that to say, I think movies are back, or at least on the incline, because people are talking about how bad they have been, and have been talking about how bad they have been.
So weird to answer that question. No, movies are not coming back because they didn't go anywhere. This stupid idea that movies are worse and Marvel made movies bad. I'm gonna go ahead and remind y'all of the kinds of movies we were getting before Iron Man. Did any of you see Hansel and Gretel with Jeremy Renner?
I forgot about that movie.
Y'all remember Jumper?
That's so funny.
Jumper?
Oh my god, it's got Christian Haydenson.
I know what that is. I don't know.
Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
he could teleport anywhere in the world.
Go ahead. What else was there?
I Am Number 4. Push.
Bro.
Push.
I love you, Beth Cooper. I love you, man. Me and Dupree, Marley and me. So let me tell you something.
That's fair.
Let me be real with y'all for a second. Movies have always been incredible and garbage. They didn't start being worse because Marvel started throwing hella money at these big projects. They were just also movies that were either good or and they are not better or worse because they're Marvel products. I hate the idea that like movies are worse because, or that the Marvel movies have been ruining cinema or anything. The problem is the mass media just looked at Guardians of the Galaxy as a commercial success, and so now we need to make sure that nothing is ever taken seriously, and that's why stuff like Parasite or Everything Everywhere All at Once are such a different, nice breath of fresh air, because those movies are, in their totality, movies that are intended to be taken seriously. And when they are funny, it is not just because we need to have comedy in our movies so that we can have our Iron Man or our Star-Lord character so that people come and can quote these movies. Because Tag, I don't know if y'all saw the movie Tag with Jeremy Renner. Good movie. Yeah, hilarious.
Oh, I did see that. That was
solid movie. You know that Jeremy Renner is acting like that because The Hangover and Guardians of the Galaxy existed, and that's just what that movie is. They even got characters from those respective IPs, like famous people from those IPs. Like, those movies were not better or worse because of Marvel. These movies are doing what they're doing because this is what the mass appeal is. But when you have someone do something like Everything Everywhere All at Once and compare it to Multiverse of Madness, it's easy then to say Marvel is the problem.
Oh, Multiverse of Madness wasn't even that bad.
No, I liked that movie a lot when I came out of the theater. Cool. And I thought about it for 4.5 minutes. Again, the same with No Way Home. Like, sure, it was fun. And it tear-jerked me. But not a single thing about Doctor Strange as a character is ever consistent or good. What they did to Wanda was terrible. Because
I like the femcell, it was cracking me up.
God, it's so irritating because at the end of WandaVision, they did a much better job at not doing the whole women with power always go crazy with it because women can't be trusted with power in their hormones thing. Mm-hmm. This is a trope as old as the 1800 in writing. That's exactly what they did. Skirted around.
But there are always villains that are dudes like when they get power they go crazy too. So
you know why it's different? Because you also have hundreds of other examples of male characters that do not fall into that category. But you have an exclusive.
Is it because specifically she's the protagonist?
No, it's because the trope. It's the reason this trope exists is because it's tropic, not because like this is something that we have seen happen once or twice with women. No, this is how women were written. This is how people thought women were. That's why it's different that you have a character like Obadiah Stane go off the rails at the end of the movie, because yeah, that's generic villain man stuff, and that is its own trope. But men are still written to be completely and totally capable of withholding and managing power. It's a completely different thing. Okay. So where it comes to Wanda and WandaVision, she was not in control of what happened at the start because she was trying to grieve. And they lie to you intentionally in the story and tell you that she went crazy and attacked the sword base and stole Vision's body. No, they lied to her about whether or not they had it. So when she went there, she didn't hurt anybody and she didn't steal Vision's body. She was trying to get closure. So she went to the home they were going to take and grief overwhelmed her.
This is in WandaVision?
Yeah, and this is not something this isn't like her going crazy because she's a woman. This is anybody with that amount of power who has to deal with some sort of mental issues that doesn't know how to process grief and reconcile their problems would have fell into this trap. And that is why it's different than the crazy woman trope, because yes, it is still a woman with power who went off the rails, but by the end of it, she was like, wait, I'm hurting people. I have to stop this. And then they didn't kill her. They didn't make her do something so absolutely awful and terrible that she is irredeemable like they did in the comic book version of the story they told with WandaVision, which is House of M, where at the end, her last act, when she has gone crazy, for no other reason than because she's a woman, because you can say she was schizophrenic or she had bipolar disorder, whatever, media representation of mental health has always been terrible, and that's not a good way to paint what was happening to Wanda. They just had a very powerful woman character, so what is the thing that you do with those? You make them go insane. So she did. Just like Daenerys Targaryen falls into that same trap.
That one was even.
And they're like, oh, it's the inbreeding that makes Targaryens crazy that caused that to happen. No, it's not. It's she's a woman in power. We need to make sure to portray her as incapable of handling that. So when they did it with Wanda, it was different. And at the end, she reconciles this. She fixes everything. She's like, I'm sorry, and I have to go somewhere where I won't hurt people. And she does, and she finds the Darkhold. And the only thing they needed to do to make Scarlet Witch not be ruined as a character is outright tell the audience the Darkhold made Doctor Strange crazy. It's doing the same thing to Wanda. But they don't do that. The Darkhold gets destroyed entirely. It's gone. And Wanda is still doing all of the horrible things that she was doing. For no reason. We went through an entire character arc of her figuring out how to do better. I'm okay with her finding the Darkhold and backsliding on that because it took control of her mind a little bit and she's already obnoxiously powerful. But instead they just go the she's insane because reasons and nothing about her motivations makes sense right. Okay. Movies didn't get worse because of Marvel. Movies were already garbage and Marvel's just played into that. But they were also great. And Marvel played into that.
It's a good take. I like, yeah. Zoro is better than Sanji?
Concise answer?
At what? What does it say? At what? Or
I just said Zoro is better than Sanji, question.
Oh, yes or no? Okay.
I love Zoro. Sanji was cool, and people really hated Sanji, but then his whole cake character arc really kind of skyrocketed him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wish you right now. We still wait.
But I'm following. I don't know. I feel like Zoro's just better though, cause I love Sanji, but protect me. I will protect you, woman. Kind of gets old after 300 times.
Yep.
Hold me.
Yeah, I was about to say
Everybody really went.
And that's the thing, bro. Sanji's dope, but that pervert just tired. And the misogynistic, that shit is. So I'm thinking.
We grown now.
Zoro's slow, bro, and being an idiot is just funnier. It's slow, bro. And that's the thing. People act like Zoro's this super mega genius, assassin.
Who says that?
People act like he's just flawless.
No, bro. The trying to work through cutting his swords like a dum-dum.
He's a meathead. That's why I love him, bro. He just be
that's why
on the ship, bro.
Right, that's
literally.
That's it, bro.
That's why he was bleeding out against Mr. One. He said cut nothing but cut.
He touched the rock, it explodes. Slices the leaf, nothing happens.
The man had to breathe to be like, oh wait, what did you say?
Right, he had to breathe. There's no oxygen reaching his brain.
Yeah, as he's bleeding out, oh, the stones didn't. Wait, no, that's not what happened. Mm-hmm. I knew there would be no stones here. How did I? No, that's not even what I need to wear. Yeah. I need to cut this.
Yep. He has moments of wisdom, like when he told Luffy, don't go back for him. Don't get him.
Is that really wisdom, or is that not gonna follow if you do that bullshit?
Oh, that was reason because Luffy can't run his ship. That's what he was telling him. He wasn't just saying that to say. He was like, no one will respect you if you don't take a hardline stance that your crew can't
anybody can just walk all over.
I'm not disagreeing at all about what he's saying. I'm just saying, would we consider it truly wise that he said that the way that he did, or did he really specifically only say that because Luffy, I'm not gonna respect you, I'm gonna leave, but he had to put it in a way.
But it's on.
I don't think he was ever gonna leave Luffy. I think it was more of him saying other people are gonna look at you funny if you kowtow to this. As your first mate, my biggest concern is having your back.
Yep.
So
looking out for the crew, man.
If you bring him back, I'll leave because you need to be strong.
Zoro's
I feel like if Luffy doesn't take control, then Zoro will.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a Zoro angle for me too.
Okay. And it's literally, it wasn't close until Whole Cake, and then it was still not close.
I wish Oda wrote Sanji his character development he eventually
left it behind.
Yeah, left the virgin and all the girl crazy.
Hey,
it's cool that he's girl crazy.
It's cool as a character.
Crazy still. I
will say, I do like Sanji being that way more so than the dude. I think it's Moroku. No, it was Moroku. That
I was just about to ask you about that
because he won't be like, oh my god, look at. He'll be like, that's right there.
Just touching him and
straight up rubbing booty. I'm like, I don't know about that, bro. I don't about that, bro.
Roku is hard to like.
I'm like, bro, he's just grabbing a whole, like, bro. And it was like, okay. He did it one time, like, bro needed to he does it consistently.
All the time.
I'm like,
he works at Master Roshi, and that's a large step. Master Roshi, like, he's terrible.
So that makes me like, hey, Sanji really, it's not even that big a deal when you look at but Sanji alone, yeah, that you know.
And it's slightly like cringe. It's less bad because his main thing is like, don't be disrespectful in front of women or I will kick you in the teeth, and that's like its own kind of misogyny that is still.
Is it really misogyny?
That is rooted in misogyny.
It's not necessarily.
We don't need
I guess the question the question would be, would chivalry be considered misogyny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then
just because
modern day chivalry, but chivalry is also like, I killed you in a duel because you
my wife.
Yeah, you spat on the floor in front of me as a woman, so I had to stab you with a jousting tool. So chivalry itself is pretty wild.
It is. The laws are pretty hilarious.
But what I was getting at is Sanji still is a different type of annoying with his perversion than like Master. He's up there with Jiraiya more than he is as bad as Mineta and and Miroku. And then there's Jiraiya who peeks on women at the spa, and that is definitely against
Sanji
the law.
does it too.
But Jiraiya also almost died because he tried to do that to Tsunade.
So did Sanji.
Yeah, she punched him hard enough. He lost.
Yeah, he got that
lost
scar.
50 years of his life.
Yeah, he said he got 2 scars.
We got the scar from Naruto, but
he lost 50.
She fight out the pain. She shaved that.
He would have lived a long, fruitful life.
And then I think he never did it again after that until he started hanging out with Naruto.
No, he never did that to Tsunade.
Oh, but
he never tried Tsunade.
And somehow Sanji still is not as bad as him because but the whole thing with the trans women joke with him in the time skip, it hit wrong for me as an adult. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean, he was just like, I don't want no ding dongs. It's that simple.
Yeah, but he was also like being pretty transphobic and with the kind of.
I mean, bro, do you not remember him literally putting makeup on and then being in the dress and enjoying life with the same for a time? And then he saw Luffy in the newspaper, like, oh, let me get my together.
Okay, right. And had a moonwalk just to get away from them because they were ugly.
But that was after that.
It's still not as bad as pretty much anything else.
I mean, I think that it makes sense. And
unfortunately, all perverts are bastards. So
yeah,
Sanji's a bastard.
Anyway,
creepy.
I think we all pretty much agree.
Zoro.
Yeah, but we're trying to give Sanji some leeway. We are.
Especially after.
And even after Wano, go.
No, I'm trying to find the pleasure house is so stupid.
No, I'm not.
It took so long.
Oh my god, why would you bring that up?
3 whole episodes. That's
You
way
brought
too
that
much.
up.
It could have been a one-off joke.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, you know why? Because Wano is too long.
Oh, I forgot about that. He said the wrong.
Longer than Dressrosa and worse. God damn.
He didn't say that. He ain't mean that.
Crack the show.
I didn't.
I'm playing.
I didn't mean it. My bad.
He got it. Hope y'all enjoyed that video.
I sure did it.
We got into some stuff. This might be the portion of the video where you had seen something, you're like, yeah. And then might be another portion where you're like that said what? Might be another portion where you're like,
his favorite anime was that?
Oh, no. Never gonna let that go. Next S.D.S, I'm on your head, boy. I'm on your head,
so,
boy.
I hope y'all had fun. Like I was saying before, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff YouTubers gotta say. But for real, at least, try and watch at least the whole video through. Don't just be clicking off just to click off because you be uninterested. See what we all gotta say, because we all gotta say something.
Make sure you leave some of your opinions in the comments.
Yeah, all that.
If you
good
made it
stuff.
this far, let us know what your favorite stuff is.
Why you saying that, boy?
That's how they be saying it, bro. Made this far in the video.
About to start opening up with something beautiful, fast.
Yeah. Build the Franco.
Well, I'm gonna catch y'all. Deuces.